Hello everyone, I don't know if this is going to work. That's the sun that you can see there, and there's some mild clouds going across. So basically in the front of the house I have got the telescope rigged, and I am basically connected. So Nina's got control of the mount, which is here, and I'm VNC'd into the laptop outside, so I will have to nip in and out, and I'll mute the mic and take my camera off as well. But essentially this is the sun live, and the partial eclipse should begin soon. I'm not sure which part of the disk it's going to appear on, so I'm just going to go around the edge. There's a couple of little sunspots today. So there's one there that you can see. I'll just move Nina out of the way. So there's one just there, and there's some little ones just dotted around. As I say, I will be nipping in and out, and you guys can, of course, where are we? You guys can, of course, have a look at this. Right, let's see. So apparently the eclipse begins about 10 o'clock, so we're at 10:05, so I'm hoping that soon we might see a little nibble on the side of the sun. But already the cloud is coming in. It's always the way, isn't it? It's always the way. Right. Let's just see if we can find any part of the sun which has got, just increase the exposure time. Can't see it happening yet, but I'm sure we will see. There it is. It's at the top there. You can just see it here. Fantastic. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my goodness, you can actually see it there. That is brilliant. Let's just see if I can make that a bit more central. I can't remember which control does what. Okay, that does left and right. That brings it the wrong way. Right, there it is. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, wow. Right, I am going to... this is really cool. I'm going to do a capture. So as I say, I'm currently doing a capture of the partial eclipse, and that's it right now. Oh my goodness, that's brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic. Really good. So I'm just taking a 45-second capture. I don't think the images are going to be great, so I've got a capture of the first bit, and then I'm going to wait a few minutes and then do another capture. So I'm just going to reframe on this. I think it was... It's so difficult to control it remotely. I think everything is backwards, so I think that moves it down. No, that moves it left and right. So that will move it down. Then minimize that. Oh, that's so cool. That's really, really cool. Absolutely brilliant. Loving this. You can see the clouds passing over. So for those who have just joined, basically what we're seeing now is the partial eclipse of our sun. In the garden, I have got a refractor and a Herschel's wedge, which is basically taking all of the energy of the sun out. And but that is just so cool. I'm just wondering what best gain to use. It's hard to know. Now, I did not envisage doing a live stream on this at all, but it's just fantastic. It's so cool. Let's just pull the gain down a tiny bit. Oh, that's just amazing. So I'm just going to reframe. So Nina's got control of the mount. So I'm using Nina, and I think it was that one to move it up, that one to move it down. I'll just go back up a bit. And then I just need to move it over a bit. Making a mess. How cool is that? That's just super smart. Oh, clouds go away. I'll just increase the gain to compensate slightly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to draw my directions so I know when I go back into Nina, I'll be able to hopefully control the mount a bit better. So I can hopefully just go here. So that way takes it, so up goes to the right, which means down goes to the left, and then that one goes up and that one goes down. So if I want to move the image to the left, I click that one. That's up and down. Okay, cool. So I've now got control. Great. Isn't that brilliant? The reason it's green is because I've got a solar contrast filter on the telescope at the moment, and I was finding that the exposure was too bright and I couldn't bring the gain down any further. So I have put a solar contrast filter on, which has helped to bring better control of the surface. So yeah, there we go. There's the partial eclipse of our sun. That's just so cool. Right, I'm going to do a quick capture now. It's a little bit cloudy. You can see the clouds are going across. The mount that this is on is a very old EQ5 mount, which has just motors on it, and I've got a tiny little box which is allowing me control of the rate ascension and declination, and that's all I'm doing. I'm not, and it's obviously ticking over in right ascension just to keep tracking the sun. It's not properly polar aligned at all. It's literally just there, just ticking over. So it will drift over time. I'm just going to realign again. So if I move these all the way over to there, so I want it to move left. So I've drawn here basically directions. So I want it to move slightly to the left. And then I can minimize that. There we go. I might move it down a tiny bit. So down is that way. That's so cool. Absolutely brilliant. Right, I'll be back in just 2 seconds. So I'm just going to mute my mic and I'm going to turn my camera off. I'll be back very soon though, so bear with me 1 second. I will be back soon. There you go. Sorry about that. I clicked the wrong button, which is why it was, which is why the picture was just my camera with no one there. There you go. So there's the live stream of the sun right now. Hopefully you can see that. You just saw my son as well coming in. There we go. I'm going to realign this. So my instructions are, so I need to move it left. Click on that one. There we go. It's quite cloudy outside at the moment, so we're quite lucky just to see this bit. I'll increase the gain slightly. Or the exposure time rather, not the gain. Let's do a capture. very cool, isn't it? Very cool. The cloud is clearing, so it's going to be really blown out, this one. It's going to pull the gain down, the exposure time down. Back in just 1 second. Sandro, you've got delivery. Let's move that over a bit. It does look like a biscuit that somebody's just gone. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask anything at all. I should really see if I can get up a photo. I'll see if I can transfer a photo of what's outside so you can actually see it. Bear with me 2 seconds. I just need to transfer the photo. Okay, so I'll show you what's outside. Just need to make sure I open the right page. I think I didn't send it. Oh no, I did send it. Cool. Just need to refresh. Okay, here we go. So this is the front of my house right now. I have an Astro Gadgets set of motors on the rig, and they're made in the Ukraine, and it's basically just a simple right ascension and declination control. I also have the Guide Dream, which is basically allowing a USB interface to control the right ascension and declination, so I can control it from the PC. I then have a Herschel's wedge, which is here. You can see the sun is there. Just an Altair 102 ED. which is there, ZWO planetary camera. I can't remember the number on that one. And effectively I'm now VNC'd into my laptop, which is over here. And what you're seeing is this. So that is what I'm VNC'd into this laptop, and that's what you're seeing at the moment. So if I just move this left on there. There we go. So that's pretty much it at the moment. It's so cool, isn't it? It's really cool. Right, I've just got some friends who would wish to see this, so I'm going to share this link, hopefully, to them. Don't know how to do that though, so I'm going to just see. Do I do that from YouTube? Who knows? Let's go in there. So you guys can't see my second screen. So let's see if I can hopefully copy a link to my friends who are wanting to watch this. So I'll just minimize that. I still can't believe how cool that is. That's amazing. It's really good. Right, okay, so I need to go there. I'll just get a shareable link. Link copied. Cool. Right, I will send that to myself. Great. Okay, let's hopefully that should now have arrived. Yeah, it does. Okay, so I need to send that to my Astronomical Society. There we go. That's shared. Cool. Right, so let's just align. So I need to, so I've basically written my directions so I know where I'm going. And left is actually down. So I'll just recenter. Now this particular telescope is, I'm going to get this wrong, I'm going to say 715mm focal length. So it's actually way too long focal length for something as big as the sun, because the sun is huge. So basically, that's what I'm using, because that's the one I could get set up in time, and so I'm VNC'd into that laptop, and essentially I can then live stream to you guys. So this is very cool, isn't it? It's so cool. I think my focus is okay. I hope my focus is okay anyway. You can kind of see some detail here, which I believe would be surface detail from the moon as it's going across, I think. Obviously, please tell me if I'm completely wrong, which is very certain. And then I'm just going to move over again, so I need to click south to go left. There we go. feel free to ask any questions if you wish to. Just put it in the chat. Oh, hello, Andy. Dr. Hex UK. Hello. I'm just going to pull the gain down a tiny bit there. To adjust the mount again to the left, so I obviously couldn't polar align properly, so it's literally just been thrown outside. I know roughly which direction it should be pointing in, and therefore it will drift. So I now want to move it up, which is east. And slightly to the left. There we go. Oh, I've gone too far. So I now want to move it down, which is west. There we go. So to adjust the exposure time. Some wispy clouds going across, in fact quite a lot of cloud at the moment going across. Oh no, it's going behind the cloud. Increase the exposure time, you can still see it. Move it to the left. So as soon as this clears a bit, I'm going to take a video probably need to move it down a bit more. Too much. And then to the left. So much cloud, loads of cloud. Just increasing the exposure time a bit. So of course the frame rate will drop. There you go, it's now overexposed. Right, so I'm just going to do a very quick capture. I'm not expecting any of these to look amazing, not with the amount of cloud that's going on, but it's just so cool. Just so cool. And that's overexposed now. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll just go back to my live stream page, which is here. Go. Hello everybody, hope you're all okay. This is our nearest star, which is basically powering everything. Right, so I need to move it to the left, not right, to the left. I need to go to the left and need to go down. There we go.
I'm sorry to... Is that it?
Yeah.
Ooh, I told you to tell me when the sun went.
We're on. You're live, by the way, on YouTube.
Hi, guys.
Hi, this is my wife. I don't know if she is in shot. She probably is.
Nope.
Yes, you are. You're in shot.
Great.
Yay! So, Oh, look, the cloud is here. Let's turn up the exposure.
Why is everything so bright? Yeah, I just want to say how he's live. Why doesn't he give me some sort of heads up to say he's going live?
There we go. So I'm now in trouble because I've gone live with this. Left. Oh, I need to change the exposure time. Bring it down. Shall we do another video? Let's do another video. Okay, just need to pull the exposure time down. Cancel that. Cool, you can see some of the sunspots, little sunspots there, so let's get a capture with that. Start that one. So after this capture has finished, I'm only doing 45-second captures. Three, two, one, and that's it. Cool. Right. So there are some sunspots here, which you can see. So I'm going to pull the gain down so you can actually see them better. Right. Can you hopefully see those? So there's the eclipse. So what I'm going to do, oops, I'm going to go to the left, and I'm actually going to go up a bit, and now I'm going to just see. It's really hard to know what exposure time to use for this, but I'm just going to go somewhere around there. There's another sunspot which I think is bottom. I think it's down here, I think. So let's do a capture of that. Only going to do 45-second captures. Oh, now the exposure is not right. It's a bit better. But you can see, clearly see some sunspots there and some there as well, which is great. And of course the gentle clouds, wispy clouds going by. That I'm hoping will turn out to be really cool. Now let's go and have a look at this other bigger sunspot. So I think if I go, so I want to go down, so it's this way, or what am I doing? So to move it down, okay, so I want to move it up actually. There it is. So there's another sunspot just there. So if I increase the gain, there you go, you can see that really quite well there. So there's one sunspot there, there's another one just there. So I now want to move the image down, so let's go back to Nina. So we're back at the eclipse. So let's move to the left, so that's that one. And then I want to move the whole thing up, which is that one. So cool, just so cool, and we'll do a video of that. I'm going to show you the filter I'm using, back in a second. Okay, so I'm using one of these Altair Astro 548 nanometer solar contrast boosters, which gives it that green hue, which I'm hoping I'll be able to correct later. And it's for use with a Herschel's wedge, which is what we're imaging through at the moment, or what we're seeing at the moment. And so essentially, I was finding that with this particular camera, I'll go and find out the camera as well. So the camera is obviously a planetary camera, and it's a color camera, as you can see, and it's a 662 MC camera from ZWO, and then the Herschel wedge, which is the bit that's stopping everything from bursting into flames, and then the solar contrast filter. So I found with this particular set of kit that I was having to reduce the the exposure time all the way down, but with the filter I could have a bit more granular control, which is good. So you can see it's quite cloudy at the moment, and I'm just going to move it down. So down is this way, and now I just need to move the exposure time down. Oh, this is just so cool. Ideally, I'd have a shorter focal length, and then you could see the whole disc, which is what you really want to see. But I don't have a shorter focal length refractor. You can't use the Herschel wedges with a Newtonian because they get too hot. So you have to use a refractor. So I need it to go. I need to go up. It's hard to know what the best framing is with this focal length. It really is. So I need to go left. Maybe up a tiny bit. Up, up. That's quite cool. So I'm going to take so there's another set of sunspots there. Let's take a capture of that. Quite a few messages coming through. It's cool. Right, just going to pull down the exposure. There we go. So I want to see some of these details, and there's more sunspots there as well. This is cool. Let's do a capture of that. Actually, do I want to capture that? Yeah, I do. let's go left again. It's quite the atmosphere is quite wobbly at the moment. You can see there's quite a lot of atmospheric disturbance there. Do another capture. I've never done this before, where I've chosen a solar system object and I have logged into my laptop. There's no guiding obviously with this, it's just literally just tracking in right ascension. Nothing spectacular. Hello cat. Here's the cat. Look, solar eclipse. You're not interested, you're a cat. Right, this is the bit I wanted to see. So we've got these sunspots here. So I'm going to just move it to the left a bit. Too far. Maybe down actually. So down is west. Too far. Right, and then I'm going to do... Oh, it's drifting. You see the backlash on this mount is pretty severe. That's just because it's an old mount. So down, down, down. That's cool. And then start capture. So this mount is really old, and I refurbished it so that I could use it for this type of thing. This is exactly what I kind of wanted it for, so that I could throw it outside, not worry about everything being perfect, and just have remote control of it. This was the kind of the mini dream with this mount. I should do this with the moon as well at some point, because now I've established that I can have remote control like this using Nina. I can go around the moon and do a live stream as well. I think that would be really good fun. Does anyone know how much of the moon is going to be in front of the sun today? Because it looks to be kind of dipping in and going in a kind of arc. There we go, start capture. Right, I'll be back in just a second. I'm just going to turn off my camera and my audio, and then I'll be back. Okay, it's really clear outside now, so we're going to do a bit more looking at the sunspots. So in Nina, let's just move this to the left. So we've now got quite a substantial part of the sun's disk, which is now covered. So I need to move it up a tiny bit. There we go. So you've got here a sunspot just at the bottom there. You've got some little sunspots here. They've just covered those ones. So what I'd like to do, I'll just move it down. I'd like to take another video now of this. So start capture. So I'm taking a capture at the moment. This is 45-second capture, and then I will stack these together and glue them together. Hopefully we might see some of these details, but it's actually completely clear right now. It's a bit hazy over there, but the sun itself is clear at the moment. I can't see any wispy clouds going in front of the sun. Let's move this down. Okay. That's drifting back up, so I need to go down. There we go. Move it to the right a bit. Sorry, to the left a bit. Okay, so what you're currently looking at, some little tiny sunspots which are just there. So I'm going to take another quick capture. So at the front of the house is a refractor telescope with a 715 millimeter focal length, and it looks a bit like this. So that's what is rigged at the front, and I have a laptop there, and that's basically what is controlling all of this. And then I am VNC'd into that laptop, and it basically allows me to have control of the mount. And on the mount there are some motors. These are Astro Gadgets motors, and basically I can control remotely the right ascension and declination on the mount, which allows me to scroll around the sun. So let's go back in here. So if I go into Nina, which has the remote control, so Nina's got the remote control. Yes, I could remote control it here, but for some reason the ASCOM driver doesn't work really well with SharpCap, but it works fine in Nina, so I'm just using what works. So I've moved over now to the left. Step back a bit. There we go. Cool. And I think that looks quite good. So I might just take a quick capture of that. Actually, you know what? I would quite like just to see the whole sort of curve. So let's frame that up. So I need to move it down. Question is, will I be able to get the whole curve in? Need to move it to the right. It's really difficult. I'll do that though. That looks okay. Let's just check the exposure. There we go. So what you're looking at is actually through a filter. It's called a Herschel's wedge filter, so you must never ever look at the sun, especially through anything that magnifies or focuses light, like binoculars. Never do that. Never ever look without some form of proper protection. This telescope has what's called a Herschel's wedge, and it basically is removing all of the danger aspects away and reducing the intensity of the light, but it's still too bright, a bit too bright. So I am using a solar contrast filter, which is this one here, and this is at 540 with an 8 nanometer bandpass, and essentially that's bringing down the intensity and it's enhancing the detail, but it does give a green hue on the actual image. So we're back to clouds again. I'm just going to adjust the intensity. You can see some nice details coming through from some sunspots there. So I'm just going to start a capture. What I'd quite like to do, once I've reframed, I'd quite like to get this bigger sunspot at the bottom. So let's get that. So if I move down, wrong way. There we go. Up. There we go. So I've now got this other sunspot just there. Just taking the backlash out of the mount. Okay, that's quite cool. Oh, I'm hoping this one looks good. Three, two, one. Great. I'm actually going to take another one of these. Just want to try and get some of that surface granular detail. I know it's really difficult with what is basically a white light, so we're not looking at hydrogen alpha or anything spectacular. So I need to move to the left. Oh, that looks so cool. I do love all the little mottly details. I hope they come across a bit on YouTube. Just looks fantastic, doesn't it? Really cool. I'm going to do another capture of that. My poor laptop's going to be absolutely full to the brim. It's going to have literally no storage space left on it. Excellent. Great. Right, let's move it down a bit. Actually, I need to move it to the left. There we go. reduce the exposure time. Yes, look at that. Because I really want this sunspot down here, but obviously the eclipse is the superstar of this stream, so it is looking very cool. There we go. So I've just taken another image. I'll just reframe again. Do I want to go up? Or should I bring the whole thing a bit further down? I don't know what's the best framing, because obviously that just looks like a semicircle. Is there anything further up? No, not really. Maybe if I move that to the right. Actually, that would be quite cool. And if I move everything down. I kind of like that footage, that framing. That looks quite cool. So we've seen a few little sunspots today. Not a huge number. We've just got 1, 2. Is there another one there? Looks like there's another one there. It's just so cool to look at, isn't it? Left and down. mean, look at that. That is just amazing. If I can make this a bit smaller, can I make this smaller? If I scroll down, no, it's the wrong one. Just looks fantastic. So I need to move down. No, sorry, wrong way. There we go. Okay, so those who have just joined, hello, welcome. You're looking at the partial solar eclipse. So the moon is currently blocking our view, and this is the sun. It's green because I'm using a solar contrast filter to allow control of the amount of light going into my camera sensor. The rig outside is this one. So I've got a refractor here, which is of 715mm focal length, so it's quite zoomed in. And to make it safe, I'm using a Herschel's wedge, which you can see just there. That's the bit that basically allows it not to burst into flames. And then the camera is connected to a laptop, and the laptop is basically doing the imaging, and it's also controlling the mount as well. So these little motors that you can see here, these Astro Gadgets motors, are controlling this lovely old mount, and this is what we're seeing. So I've pretty much streamed from the moment it broke onto the surface of the sun, and it's covered up a couple of the sunspots which are there as well. And we've also got a lovely big sunspot just there, and you can see some granular detail on the surface of the sun itself. This is just in white light, so it's not in hydrogen alpha. Hydrogen alpha allows you to see the corona as well, and other detail around the sun. You can't do that with white light. It's not something that it is able to do. If we look, if I move my mount controls back over here so that I can move around, so we've got lots of screen to play with. So I've actually done my directions, which are all a bit strange. So left is down, right is up, and so on and so forth. So sorry, that's kind of how it's laid out, just because of the orientation of the camera. So what I'd like to do is go to the left, sorry, to the right even. He says, there we go. And then I want to move the image down a bit. So you can actually see there the area of the sun which is actually covered up, which is very, very cool. Oops. Right, and I want to move it back up. I mean, that's just absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And if I was to bring it down a bit, so that's just the backlash on the mount catching up. And I'm actually going to move to the right now so you can see the rest of the sun. And there's another sunspot there, so I'll move back to the left. There we go, so you can see some of the details there. I'm also taking video footage, which I can then glue the stack together. So I'm just, sorry, I just need to reframe it slightly. I need to move it to the right. It's a bit too much. And I need to move it down a tiny bit. There we go. And now I'm going to start to capture. So I'm taking a video of the sun, and then I'll be able to stack that together and hopefully get an image of part of the sun with part of the eclipse and also a sunspot. So hopefully something interesting to look at. Now I believe this will end around midday, I think it is. So it's been a couple of hours of really interesting stuff to see on the sun. It's just so cool though, absolutely brilliant. So I must reiterate, do not look at the sun under any circumstances. It will damage your eyes. You need special equipment to do this type of thing, so you must never do this without some special equipment. So the equipment that's allowing me to do this is that Herschel's wedge. That is effectively removing all of the danger from this whole setup. It's basically dispersing all of the heat away from the camera. Even having this myself, I would never look through that, ever. I'm just too scared of doing my eyesight any damage because it's still way too bright. So yes, unless you've got specific equipment like this, please do not look at the sun. It is very dangerous. I'm hoping that you can sort of see wispy clouds drifting across at the moment. This is just brilliant though, it's just so much fun. So I'm going to move that to the left. If you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll say hello, even if it's just to say hello. You'd be very welcome to say to put something in. I'll see if I can say hello to you. You can see clouds drifting across the surface of the sun there. So the reason it drifts around is because obviously the Earth is rotating and my mount is not aligned perfectly to the rotation of the axis of rotation of the Earth, so it's not polar aligned. I've basically plonked it down in hope that it's kind of near enough, and in fairness it's doing pretty well. So yes, I think it's actually keeping the sun, although the sun's massive, in fairness, it's absolutely enormous. So it's relatively easy to keep it in frame, but it is drifting, and it is drifting a bit. So I'm just going to move this up and just take the backlash out, and then to the left, and then I'm going to take a capture. So I'm taking a video which I will stack together, and hopefully we'll be able to get an image from that. My poor laptop's going to be absolutely full though, with gigabytes and gigabytes of video from this, because you take videos for surface imaging of things like planets and the moon and the sun. So let's see how much, and if I move it down, so it's kind of drifted across the surface. I believe we've got a guest coming, so I'm just going to mute my mic and my video capture, and then I'll come back in a few moments. Hello everybody. Right, so there we go. That's the sun, which is currently doing a partial eclipse across the surface. Sorry, the moon is doing a partial eclipse across the surface of the sun. I'm just going to take a capture. Here we go. My cat is back. Hello, cat. So you can really see that sunspot now. Let's do a capture. So the reason it looks green is because of the filter which I'm using, which is to enhance the surface detail. When I process these, I'll try and obviously correct the color so it's not just green. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and or even just say hi. I will hopefully see those and give you a mention. Excuse me. So as soon as this capture's finished, I'll move it over a bit. So this is the area of the sun which is currently covered, so I will try and move this out of the way so that we can actually see as much of the sun as possible. So I'm going to scroll down now. So that's from the top. You know what I should do? I should take an image and then scroll down. Yes, that's what I need to do. Okay, let's do that. So I go from there, and then I need to start a capture. And then what I'll try and do is glue all of these together. Okay, so I've got one there, so now if I reframe, so if I move down, no, move up, sorry. So this is kind of the middle section, and you can actually see those lovely sunspots. So let's just go down a bit, and then take another capture. Look at this is Brownie. This is going to be really difficult to do, actually, thinking about it. Might have to start again. Might do 30-second captures instead. Anyway, I won't stop now, but I might do it again in a second. So I then need to move that way. and then take another capture. This one might not work, but we'll see. I might have to redo this one. Because it's moved across, so I need to move it back. Yeah, I'm going to have to move this one back. So it needs to be about there. Okay, redo that capture. So I'll do another one below this, and then I'll go across and do two going up, and then hopefully that'll give a whole disc with any luck. I don't know, it's always difficult when you're doing a mosaic. Okay, so I'll go and do that one next. Right, so if I now move the whole thing right, take one there, I genuinely don't know if this will cut together. Might do, might not. I know you can't see the eclipse at the moment. I'm just imaging the surface. Oops, wrong way. All the way around, so I can do a mosaic, which is why you can't see the eclipse at the moment. So as soon as I finish this, I'm doing 45-second captures on each part of the mosaic, and then I can hopefully glue those together and have a full disc with the eclipse in as well, and the little bits of detail on the sunspots. So I've nearly finished this. I've probably got probably two more to do, and that will hopefully be the whole disc then. So when I stack those individual pictures together, the other thing I might try, there's a live stacking feature in SharpCap. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how we get on. Might be able to do a live stack. It's an ideal opportunity to try it, isn't it? So, okay. So if I now go there, and I need to go up. Yeah, it seems to be. I think it's there. Start capture. It's my son's birthday today, so if you can hear a squeaky horn, it's my son, whose friend has just come round. He's 13 today, teenager, hooray! So, yes, he's having his friends round today, which is cool. So that's probably the noises that you can hear. And very soon I might have to stop this because I'm sure that my wife would prefer me to actually help as opposed to being a pain. So as soon as this is all done, I will obviously stop streaming. There we go, that's what I wanted. So I now need to go up a bit and this way a bit and down a bit. I think this will have covered the whole disc. And then there's just one last thing I want to try, which is to do a live stack of what's coming in, and I can't quite remember how you do that, so I'm sure it can't be that difficult, but we'll see. So we'll get back to the Eclipse in just a second, as soon as this one's done, and then we'll try and live stack it together and see what we can actually see. 3, 2, 1. That's it. Cool. Right, so I need to go the wrong way. There's our Eclipse. So how do you live stack? Let's have a go. So if I go into live stack, so it couldn't align. Okay, so how do you live stack a planet? Or a star, as the case is. Ah, starred, lunar, solar, planetary, live stacking. Oh wow, okay. So I think it's doing it. It is doing it. So let's bring out the green. Which is most of it. Actually, if I auto color. Okay, that's cool. It's a bit blue. Do I need to tell it what the subject is? Oh, wow. Well, that's quite cool, isn't it? Thing is, I can't see what the live camera is actually showing me now. So if I come out of that. Right, so if I move back over to the left. So it's got plenty of time to drift. And then go into live stack. So it's now live stacking. Auto adjust. So what do I need to add to make that more? So it's less blue, isn't it? That's becoming more green. So probably need to add more red then. That's looking a little bit more sun-like. There we go, that's what we want. And then on our wavelets, obviously that's way too much. Let's just do it in individual layers. That's very cool. You can see though from the top here as it's drifting across. If I reset the stack. That's very cool, isn't it? Very cool. Okay, let's go back and move it across. And then we'll do another live stack, planetary live stack. That's so cool. Shock has run out of memory, fair enough. Oh no, have I killed it? Probably have. I've killed Sharpcap. Hooray! There we go, normal service has resumed. Let's go and move it down. There's not much left on the Eclipse now. I say there's not much, there's quite a substantial amount, but compared to where we were earlier. Right, I will be back in just a second. Somebody is at my door, so bear with me. back. Okay, so I'm going to have to bring this to a close fairly soon. But I hope this was really interesting. I mean, it was for me anyway. That's just so cool. I'm going to take a capture of that. Target is the sun. 45 seconds, that'll do. Start. But just look, you can really see the sunspots now. The conditions have settled a bit, so it's looking really good now. It's really nice now that the sun's so high. It's obviously a lot calmer outside in terms of clouds, so what we're seeing is a lot more detail on the sun's disk, which is great. Just looking at my exposure time, so we've got a nice big sunspot there, lots of little ones and some details there, and there's obviously some there as well. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've really enjoyed doing this stream. It's just been such fun. I've never done an eclipse before, so this is just so cool. Especially now you can see some of those extra details. If I do a live stack of that, let's see what shortcut comes up with. Oh crikey, that's so cool. That's really cool. Right, I'm going to do a quick capture of that. I think this will all be pretty much finished in about 10 minutes. Thank you all for watching. I think this is just so cool. There we go. It's the last little bit of the moon basically covering where the sun is. It's been such a fun little live stream, this one. I've really enjoyed it. Hope you guys have found it interesting. And that's the last bit. Oh wow. It's the final bit. I think Luna is something. Luna. I think solar is something I need to do more of. It's just really interesting. The thing is, their solar scopes are really expensive, so. Last little bits now of the sun. Okay, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you all for watching. It's been really good fun having you guys with me, and I hope you've enjoyed this whole stream of the solar eclipse. And if you have any questions, or if you have any thoughts, please leave a comment and I'll do my best to reply. And I'll see you all again in another stream or another video. So I'll leave the streaming until the very end once it's disappeared, and then I'll finish the stream. So thanks all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers now.